Sorry.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you are enjoying and learning. And for the last talk today, that is employment, sports, and recreation for the PWDs. We have with us Dr. Asha Sheikh. She is a medical classifier for paracycling, Switzerland, and physiotherapist for Indian paracycling team. She has an extensive experience in this field, and we are eager to hear you, ma'am. Handing over the mic to you, ma'am.
Lovely good evening to everyone. Thank you, Dr. Fareen, for such a warm introduction. As in today's session, I will be discussing about employment, sports, and recreation. As all of my earlier speaker have mentioned about the importance of UDID, importance of as a physiotherapist, the rollover, and how the ICF patterns are important in our curriculum, and what are the importance of accessible architecture. Apart from this, we also face the PWDs, person with disabilities. They face a lot of social, economical, and accessible architectural barrier, which leads to negative perception and discrimination. And this is one of the reasons that because of this stigma, they cannot pursue what they want to, even after having a lot of opportunities. As a physiotherapist, I believe that we play a vital role in that improving the quality of life. Majorly, we contribute in the rehabilitation process. In this process, to make them functionally independent. So it is during this period, it is I will consider as a window period when we do rehabilitation for them. We can evaluate their skill related fitness, and that's how we can incorporate few of the activities which can be adapted and modified according to the activity. So depend upon this, when we know what is best for them, which activity they are good at it, we can give them as an option to take up sports. As a sports for person with disability, if you can see, there are Paralympic sports, Special Olympic Games, Deaflympics, and International Blind Sports Federation Games. As we are physiotherapists, we mainly concentrate on Paralympic sports and Special Olympic Games in order to know and assess the eligible criteria. Whereas Deaflympic and International Blind Sports Federation, this goes to audiologist, audiometry, or ophthalmologist. Though apart from this, we are also involved in their fitness. As I am involved more into Paralympic sports, I would like to share more insight on this. So, as internationally recognized, there are 28 Paralympic sports in which they are divided into two, summer sports and winter sports. As you can see in slide, these are the sports. So, namely like para-archery, athletics, badminton, boccia, canoe, powerlifting, rowing, sitting volleyball, swimming, are as follows. Whereas winter sports, para-alpine skiing, biathlon, cross-country skiing, para-ice hockey, snowboard, and wheelchair curling. So when we tell like a person with disabilities, they want to pursue sports. So every sports has a different classification and criteria in Paralympic sports. Our role in Paralympic sports is one as a physiotherapist, as a medical classifier, as a sports physiotherapist too. Whereas about the classifier, I would like to highlight there are two types of classifier. Those are medical classifiers and technical classifiers. Medical classifiers are those who classify person with disability according to the impairment and health related conditions. So these impairments are impaired passive range of movement, impaired muscle power, limb deficiency, limb length difference, short stature, hypotonia, ataxia, acidosis, vision impairment, intellectual impairment. So these are the impairments, but for every 28 sports, there is a different assessment because For every sports, there will be a different range of movement which is required, different muscle is required for the different sports related skills. So likewise, these are different. And also we have to make sure the other criteria which is very important is for person with disability, it is not the percentage of disability, it is about the restriction or the impairment which we in our curriculum in ICF we have learned all these things. Similarly applies over here, but is just correlate with the different sports. Other, I would like to say, first, it have to be a permanent disability, not a temporary disability. It can be a progressive disability also or unstable disability. So there are some limitations which we have to follow according to International Paralympic Committee, which they have made those guidelines. Next is health related condition. Not all the health related conditions which leads to disability are eligible. Few are. So while we give when we are counseling or giving suggestions someone, so I would request everyone that they should communicate to any medical classifier or a personally who is involved into Paralympic, because there are lots of misconception behind this. And I have seen in the international tournament with many of the Indian athletes, they come up that so and so person has told us that they are eligible, but at the ground level, at the grassroots level, this assessment by the rehabilitation team, we have not done somewhere proper. So there is a lack of awareness about the knowledge of this classification, so that we should take into consideration. For example, the health related condition mostly are like, in case of a range of movement, it will be kind of contracture. In muscle power, it will be polio. Limb deficiency will be dysmelia, or maybe the absence of foot or leg, or maybe a dysmorphic condition. Leg length difference, it is because of polio, or maybe spina bifida. So those conditions. Short stature, again, it is a dwarfism. Then hypotonia because of some neurological condition, followed as ataxia acidosis. That vision impairment, this will be assessed by ophthalmologists. There are different level of degree which are involved. Not all the people who are visually challenged will be accepted. In the intellectual impairment, the IQ are seen. Mostly it should be below 75. So now we'll move forward. Yeah. So even I would like to share in this year in Para Asian Games and in Tokyo, India has made a remarkable achievement. So this tells us that sports not only boost the self confidence level of person with disability, but also helps them in social inclusion. Next on employment. So to improve the quality of living, if we would say to any person, they always tells person with disability, they will suggest, yes, we want to work for ourselves, we want to independence. So one of this factor is employment. India has around 3.4 crore of person with disabilities, but only 3.4 lakh are employable, and the rest of them are not employed. The reason is again like because there is absence of basic education, because of maybe the financial crisis, lack of awareness about the accessible environment in workplace, and others are because of sensitization within the work environment, what are their needs, and also transport accessibility, digital accessibility. These are the reasons. So under government sector, National Center for Promotion of Employment for Disability and Social Ministry of Justice and Empowerment are working together as an interface with government, industry, and international agencies and voluntary sector towards the empowerment of persons with disabilities. They work on this 6 core principle: education, employment, accessibility, legislation, policy, awareness, communication, and youth. Apart from the contribution of a government, there is also contribution from the public sector as well as the NGO sector. Mostly people think that only person with disabilities will be confined within the four walls and they don't have the opportunity much, but it has changed in the past decade. So the best where most of my athletes, when they find it difficulty to live their livelihood and they want to earn, they we prefer this NGO based job portal, which is fully accessible job platform for youth with disabilities. It is a pan India level job portal, which is a Swaraj ability. It is working together with Government of India, IIT Hyderabad, Nimans, and Kotak Mahindra Bank. Also, government has a fellowship which helps person with disability students for pursuing higher education, which not only helps them into improving their skills and education, it also helps in their employment-based skill. Other in public sector nowadays, the special recruitment drives are taken by various departments from time to time. If we see if we see about the reservation, there is a 3%. Somewhere it ranges between 3 to 5%, I would say. In some state, it is 3%. At central level, it is different. So there are similarly, like for the able body, how we have the group A, B, C, D post jobs. Similarly, it applies for person with disabilities also. So out of this, 1% reservation goes to each category for visually, hearing, and orthopedically challenged. Other is under sports quota. There is a 3% quota. Again, it differs from state to state. Some states have good sports policy, namely like Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, Delhi. They has a good sports policy. So that's how it is easier for the PWD belonging to those regions. They get work easily. Maybe they get work at the clerical post or income tax department. Sometimes they do get at the civil service also. Other facilities and amenities which are provided for persons with disabilities are, they are being provided with the assistive device such as low vision aids, hearing aids, spatial furniture or the wheelchair, software scanner, computer, other hardware, etc., which is in their requirement, which would improve their efficiency. Other preference is given to them to give accessible accommodation nearby their place of posting, and mostly there will be allotment of ground floor accommodation. There is also preference for casual leave to central government employees with disabilities who are participating in conference, training, workshop related to PWD development. So normally they get around 4 to 10 leaves yearly. Other preference is given in posting. Normally we see the person who are involved in government sector, they are exempted from rotational transfer of the job. The concession which is offered for them, they are from exempted from typing exams if they have a valid reason for upper limb impairment where they cannot write for clerical post. They have also relaxation of up to 10 years in the upper age limit up to 10 years for the appointment to clerical or subordinate cadre post. They are also exempted from the payment of application and examination fee prescribed for the recruitment of clerical post and other cadres in public sector banks and financial institutions. PWD are not be subjected to usual medical examination by appointing authorities, but the physical fitness should be decided on the basis of report of medical boards and attached to special employment exchanges for the physically challenged for their recruitment. Apart from this, if the person of disability they don't want to undergo into private sector or a government sector, they can do their own entrepreneurship, they can open their own business. For this, the government has provided loan which are at the interest of 5% from differential rate of interest scheme. Other important thing about the caregiver, they are also exempted from the routine transfer of their job. So now, with all this thing, I would like to tell, like there are many laws in the strategy which has been implemented over the years to make it work, to make the organization, to make the world better placed for person with disability. With this, my takeaway message would be, for a true inclusion, it is important that we embrace all the differences. We should make different policies to solve different problems, which should be not only regulated, implemented, and monitored from time to time. As a physiotherapist, we should counsel, screen, rehabilitate from grassroots level to improve physical literacy and early intervention to be taken to treat impact of disability. Employment to person with disability should be given based on their capabilities, strength, instead of their disability. We should see them as an asset and valuable consumer. And more studies and research are to be done for the effective results in various fields. Thank you.
That was indeed a very informative talk, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I definitely agree with you that more researches are necessary and need to be done in this field. And I hope and pray that our listeners and our participants for today's webinar series will be more than eager to hear more from you, and they'll contact you soon when they do their researches for the same.
Thank you, Dr. Farid. So there will be a small video in which there will be insight from few of the para athletes who are working in different sector, as well as working, as well as training for the sports to fetch medal for our country. And at the end, I would like to thank everyone, Sancheti team, and all the audience for patient listening. Thank you, everyone, and a happy World Disability to everyone.
Thank you so much, madam.
4 panelists which are specially challenged, and they are a sports personality and working in different sector. So first I would like to introduce Tanya Daga, first panelist. Second one is Khushbu. Third is Reddy Manikant. Fourth is Gautam. So coming to Tanya Daga, she is para table tennis player and working in private sector. Whereas Khushbu, she is also a multi-sports personality. She was into powerlifting, athletic, and now as a passion, she is also co-founder of one of the organization, Walk and Build. Third is Reddy Manikant, who is specially challenged athlete working in the government sector to develop the grassroots development of children with special needs. And third, we have Janu Rawat, who is from specially challenged school from the government sector. He is a special children with cerebral palsy. So now coming over to Tanya. Tanya, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm too good. So, as I want you to share your work experience in private sector.
Okay, thanks for giving me this opportunity. So when I became person with disability, before my accident, I always have a notion that government is having all the facilities for person with disability. These people don't have to fight a lot. But when I come into their shoes, I realize the ground reality. It is not what exactly you see the things. So there is a long way to go. And then I have realized it's not only limited to the government sector. These days, private sectors are also coming up into the picture. They are also trying to make India accessible. They are having certain number of quotas, and they have corporate social responsibility, what we call CSR. They have made it mandatory for a women employers and person with disability employers to come forward and to work. And they also have the facility where we can do completely work from home. They also make their workplace accessible so that no differently challenged person can feel inferior at the workplace. Okay, so I remember at my workplace, I asked that in the washroom there should be a handlebar for the wheelchair accessible washroom. And the next day I saw that it was done. And second incident was I asked I need a room for changing my prosthetic. I can't go to the washroom again and again. So next day the same thing was done. So yes, I can completely agree. Many workplaces are companies are coming forward to help person with disability. We should know what exactly we want to do because government is and the corporates are really trying people to come forward and to live a better lifestyle.
That's right, absolutely.
That's my point.
So, as I came to know from your story that there was an accessible environment. How did it help
Yeah.
the accessible environment? Normally, I face like when I interact with many of the specially challenged person, the most important factor or the challenges they face is accessible environment in their workplace. But I'm glad that you have it. So, can you tell about more about it, like how it has helped you?
So when they made the accessible environment, you yourself wanted to go to the office. It is not restricting you. Okay.
Right.
When someone is giving you open arms, you wanted to go and hug that thing, right? So the same thing comes over here when the things are completely accessible. So we have the facility of
Hmm.
cab, like picking and drop.
Okay,
So
that's
you get
nice.
that one
They have the
facility.
transport accessibility also for you.
Transport accessibility, and there is a complete ramp services over there. So there was a time I was in complete wheelchair. So when I have heavy bags with me, so security guy will come to me. They were gonna even pick my bags to my workstation, even if I wanted to refill my water bottles or even if I need anything at my desk. I just have to ask for the help. Also, one thing what I have realized in the corporate or any other, it is okay to ask for the help.
Yes,
Okay,
right.
because there are certain types of people who don't want to ask for the help. Okay, so they don't want to make you feel low over there. They don't want to make you feel judged. Okay, that we can't do this. So yeah, I even asked for the help that can you please do this for me? Can you please do that for me? And it's very wonderful to be over there. Like even if you go to the cafeteria, whatever. So I remember going to the corporate, what do you say, team lunch. So I just told my manager that if it is not accessible, I won't be able to come. So the reply which I received from his end is, Tanya, don't worry. We make sure that wherever you are coming, we make sure that the things are completely accessible. Even the steps should not be there. It should be a wheelchair accessible. So yes, those things are coming into the picture these days.
Yes, right. So,
And there are certain companies who are doing micromanagement in terms of their employees' working culture. But there are other companies also who are not doing micromanagement. They just want that work should be delivered. Okay. I agree there is no restriction between the normal person and a person with disability in terms of work. It's every same for everyone. And I guess it should be same because otherwise we will feel that okay, we can relax, we can chill. But if you give us that kind of an environment where we can feel the competitive, so it is the best thing, I guess.
right. So I would say your work environment is properly sensitized also among the people. What are your
Compared.
needs? Yeah, and that makes it possible for you to do work smoothly. So apart from this, in non-working hours, what facilities or what activities help you to like make it inclusive for you in your work environment? Is there any activity you do and which has helped you as a person to improve yourself?
There are a lot of things. One thing I specifically want to mention over here is my table tennis journey, which actually, so after my accident, I didn't start with table tennis. I completely stopped it. And in the office hour, when I used to go to the cafeteria where during the break times, I used to saw people playing TT over there. Then I realized, why can't I do that? And then even people coming forward, they wanted to help me out. They're like, if this girl can play with one leg, okay, let me help out with her. So there are many people come out over there and they help me, and that actually pushed me over there. So during the work breaks, I used to go to the cafeteria to play TT, and we play chess. So those things that actually motivate being a person into the corporate. Okay, not every corporate just want you to work. So during the practice session also, I do my exercise. I go for the training as well. So there are certain days where you genuinely can't do both the things. There are certain ways you have to skip one thing, but there are a number of days where you can do both the things parallelly. So I guess we should thankful to for those things where a company is also allowing you to balance both the things, because even now companies want person with disability should have the proper work-life balance. They should enjoy their normal life. If they want to continue a secondary career, they can do it. They should lead a happy life.
That's right, absolutely. Thank you, Tanya, for sharing your experience over this topic.
Thank you.
We will move to Khushbu. So, Khushbu, can you share your experience regarding your work environment and about your sports journey, how it has helped you?
थैंक यू सो मच मैम, आपने मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया एंड काफी लॉन्ग टाइम से मैं आपके सपोर्ट में और अंडर गाइडेंस में रही हूँ, मतलब
Thank you.
रियली हेल्प। इवन आई कैन से कि मेरी जो स्पोर्ट्स जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई थी तो आप ही के साथ हुई।
Yes, right. I can remember those days.
या आफ्टर द बैंगलोर टूर आए बहुत चेंज हुआ है
Yeah.
मेरी लाइफ में।
So Bangalore was one of the national training camp where we
Aditya.
interact with all the different types of challenged people with Aditya Mehta Foundation. So that's how your journey with the sports it started. Okay.
जी मैम, बिकॉज एक्चुअली में क्या होता है, मैंने जैसे कि आपने कहा I'm a मल्टी स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन, तो एक्चुअली में ना एक स्पोर्ट्स खेलने से आप कभी समझ नहीं पाते कि आप किस स्पोर्ट्स में बेस्ट हो, बिकॉज तो ऑलरेडी यू आर द पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटी, तो आपके कौन से बॉडी के पार्ट किस स्पोर्ट्स में बेटर खेलते हैं ना, वो हमें जब तक ट्राई नहीं करेंगे तब तक पता नहीं चलेगा। तो उस हिसाब से मैंने काफी स्पोर्ट्स ट्राई किया है। मेरी जो जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई थी बास्केटबॉल से हुई थी, बट समहाउ बास्केटबॉल मुझे नहीं हुआ। फिर फिर मुझे पता चला, क्योंकि हम मुंबई में रहते हैं और मुंबई वालों का सबसे बड़ा जो पैरा स्पोर्ट्स प्लेयर की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, वी डोंट हैव प्लेस। हमें जगह नहीं है हमारे पास प्रैक्टिस के लिए, और ना ही हमारे पास कोच के मुझे क्या करना चाहिए। बहुत इजी होता, मैं अपने स्पोर्ट्स पे ख्याल रख के अब खेल के शायद इंटरनेशनल लेवल तक खेल लेती, बट वो शायद मेरे लिए हो पाता, किसी और के लिए नहीं हो पाता, या मैं उतना उस चीज़ों पे वर्क नहीं कर सकती थी। बट 2018 आए, मैंने सोचा कि मुझे वो बनना है कि अगर मेरे बाद भी मैं जाऊं तो जो मुझे दिक्कत हुई हो मेरे पीछे वाले लोगों को दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए। उसके लिए आई स्टार्ट वॉक एंड विल्स फाउंडेशन, और वहां से मैंने इंक्लूसिव जर्नी स्टार्ट की। माय फर्स्ट इंक्लूसिव जर्नी जो मेरा सबसे फर्स्ट इवेंट था, जहाँ पे मैंने वुमेन्स को पूछा और पैरा स्पोर्ट्स प्लेयर को पूछा कि एक ही जगह पे आप साथ में खेलना पसंद करोगे क्या, तो हम वर्ल्ड को दिखा सकते हैं कि पैरा स्पोर्ट्स और नॉर्मल स्पोर्ट्स बिल्कुल इक्वल है, कोई फर्क नहीं है, जस्ट 5% का फर्क है। एंड आई एम लकीली कि वुमेन्स के 6 टीम रेडी हुए, पैरा स्पोर्ट्स के 4 टीम रेडी हुए, और वहां से मेरी जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई। उसके बाद से लाइक बहुत काम किया मैंने, बहुत सारे इंक्लूसिव इवेंट किए थी। वो स्पाइनल बायोफिड है, तो उसमें यूरिन और बॉल में कंट्रोल नहीं होता है।
Right.
90s का बॉल है, मुझे उस टाइम पे स्कूलिंग नहीं मिला था, तो मेरी कोई एजुकेशन, मतलब मैंने जैसे तैसे फिर भी 12th तक घर पे से एग्जाम दे के किया। एंड आई एम वर्किंग एज अ वीडियो एडिटर। उसी से मेरा घर चलता है, मेरा फाउंडेशन चलता है, जो भी है फिलहाल तक मैं उसी से चलाती हूँ। देन आई थॉट कि व्हीलचेयर पीडब्ल्यू कम्युनिटी है वो सिर्फ कॉर्पोरेट जॉब क्यों करे, मतलब गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर या फिर प्राइवेट जॉब, बट हम भी तो फैशनेबल है, जैसे कि स्पोर्ट्स एक फैशनेबल है। वैसे बहुत सारे फैशनेबल चीजें होती है जो अगर हम अदर कंट्रीज में देखते तो वहाँ के लोग कॉर्पोरेट से ज्यादा अदर पैशनेट में हैं, पीपल विद पीडब्ल्यू कम्युनिटी। वन इज अ चेल्सी, ही इज अ वेरी गुड डांसर ऑन व्हीलचेयर। दैट्स व्हाई उसके बाद मैंने 2020 के बाद जो लॉकडाउन खत्म हुआ तो आई स्टार्ट वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग सेंटर। ट्रेनिंग चालू की मैंने, जहाँ पे मैं लोगों को छोटे छोटे वर्कशॉप देख के अवेयर करती हूँ कि अगर आपको ये सीखना है तो आप इसमें ये कर सकते हो। तो वैसे मेरा अभी फिलहाल जर्नी चालू है।
That's great. That's great, Khushbu. So, from your experience, I can tell, like equally like normal people, challenged people population has equal rights and equal opportunities. Only the thing is, you have to channelize which is best for you. If sometime is, if not the sports, you have the different option as a point of view for your livelihood, such as different employment. Not only we should concentrate only on the government sector or private sector, you can follow up your passion also. That's how you did it. I really admire you for this. You took up
नहीं करेंगे। हमारे यहाँ पे भी लोग हैं ना, अपने लिए खुद ही बाउंड्रीज बना के रख रहे हैं, बाहर नहीं निकल रहे। जब तक हम खुद बाहर नहीं निकलेंगे तब तक काम नहीं हो पाएगा।
yes, right, it's a
हमको
two-way
जाना पड़ेगा।
process. Yeah, it's a two-way
एग्जैक्ट
process. Yes.
एग्जैक्टली। और हम भी एक ह्यूमन ही है। अगर हम इस यूनिवर्स में आए हैं तो हमारा भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि हमें यूनिवर्स को रिटर्न करना है। अगर हम किसी छोटे से डिफेक्ट की वजह से ये बोल रहे हैं कि सिर्फ यूनिवर्स हमें देता रहे तो दैट इज अ रॉन्ग थिंग।
Right.
हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि यूनिवर्स को रिटर्न करना।
Okay. So thank you, Khushbu, for share करने के लिए आपका experience and different issues के condition related solution. Okay. So next we will head over to Janu Rawat. Janu, is it audible to you? आप सुन सकते हो?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Camera
Done is audible.
on. Okay. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So जानू, आप बता सकते हो, आप 1 साल से अभी स्पोर्ट्स खेल रहे हो, ओके?
Yes,
सो
ma'am.
पहले,
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, सो पहले जब आप स्कूल में थे 1 साल पहले, अकॉर्डिंग टू माय नॉलेज,
Yes, ma'am.
कि आप
Yes, ma'am.
स्पोर्ट्स में, आपको स्पोर्ट्स के बारे में कुछ पता नहीं था, ना फिटनेस के बारे में, ना फिजियोथेरेपी के बारे में, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, सो क्या आप बता सकते हो कि जब 1 साल पहले आपको जब पता चला और आपका फिटनेस का ट्रेनिंग हुआ, फिजिकल फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट ने आपका रिहैबिलिटेशन किया, तो आप में क्या क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट आए?
Yes, ma'am. I told.
हाँ, आप हिंदी में बोल
मैम
सकते हो।
यस मैम, मेरा नाम जानू रावत है। मैं जेएन यूपी जेएनवी हाथरस से हूँ। यहाँ से पहले हमें पैरा स्पोर्ट के बारे में या स्पोर्ट के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता था। हम लूडो, चेस वगैरह ये गेम खेलते थे और कोई गेम नहीं खेलते थे। मैंने सोचा था कि मैं भी कुछ इंडिया के लिए करूं, पहले मैंने सोचा था, पर मैं सोचता था कि मैं एबल तो हूं नहीं, तो इंडिया के लिए खेल पाऊंगा या आर्मी वगैरह में चला जाऊंगा। मुझे ये तो पता नहीं था कि पैरा स्पोर्ट वगैरह होता है। पर भगवान की कृपा से या कुछ भी और फाउंडेशन की हेल्प से हमारा नेक्स्ट लास्ट ईयर कैंप लगा हरिद्वार में, उसमें सेलेक्ट होके हम फाउंडेशन आए, आदित्य मेहता फाउंडेशन। यहाँ हमारी ट्रेनिंग हुई, फिटनेस हुई, हमें कैंप में आता बहुत सारे गेम खिलाए गए और उनमें से हमें अपने बेस्ट गेम में जिसमें हम मेडल ला सकते हैं उसमें चॉइस सेलेक्ट किया और यहाँ आके हमने ट्रेनिंग ली और बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी। हम अपने काम करने में एबल बने और डिसेबल से भी बहुत अच्छे बने और हमने दिखाया लोगों को।
अब आप में और अभी में क्या क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट आया है?
हाँ मैम, पहले मैम मेरे चलने में, वॉकिंग में थोड़ी डिफिकल्टी होती थी, पर यहाँ आने के बाद मेरी बैक की एक्सरसाइज हुई, पैरों की एक्सरसाइज हुई, इससे मेरी वॉकिंग भी इम्प्रूव हुई और बैक में जो पेन आता था, और मुझे ये भी नहीं पता था कि मेरी कंडीशन क्या है। मेरी
राइट।
सेप्रेल पैर थी, मुझे ये नहीं पता था। मुझे नहीं पता था कि मेरे मेरी कंडीशन सीपी है। मुझे बस ये लगता था कि मेरे पैरों में डिफिकल्टी है, पर
Okay.
यहाँ आने के बाद मुझे पता चला कि मेरे बैक में भी थोड़ी
Yes.
कैच आता है और
Right,
मेरे
right.
पैर कांपते हैं। और क्यों कांपते हैं, मुझे लगा मेरे डर की वजह से मेरे पैर कांपते हैं, पर
Okay.
यहाँ आने के बाद मुझे पता चला कि मेरी सेपरेट पेरेसी की वजह से मेरे पैरों में टॉर्न इंक्रीज होता है और मेरे बैक में कैच
Good,
भी
good.
सीपी की वजह से। मुझे
I'm
अपनी
happy.
यहाँ आने के बाद मुझे अपनी कंडीशन
Yes.
कंडीशन पता चला।
Right, right, जानू
Yes.
रावत, आई एम गुड दैट आपको आपकी कंडीशन के बारे में पता है और आप उस चीज का
Yes, ma'am.
ट्रीटमेंट भी कर रहे हो और स्पोर्ट्स भी कर रहे हो. सो आई वुड
Yes, ma'am.
ऑडियंस, आई वुड लाइक टू टेल जानू रावत इज 15 years old and he is under grassroots development program for Paralympic Games. एंड जानू, आपको कौन सा मेडल मिला है आप बता सकते हो नेशनल लेवल में?
यस मैम, नेशनल में मुझे शॉर्ट पुट में गोल्ड मेडल मिला है
Yes.
और ओपन स्टेट में मुझे शॉर्ट पुट एंड जेवलिन में गोल्ड मेडल और ओपन 5th इंडियन इंटरनेशनल चैंपियनशिप में ब्रॉन्ज मेडल
हाँ.
जेवलिन एंड शॉर्ट पुट।
ओके, ग्रेट ग्रेट.
एंड अभी मैं थाईलैंड खेलने के लिए जा रहा हूँ, थाईलैंड एंड खेलो इंडिया आल्सो।
ओके, दैट्स नाइस, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन. और एक मुझे पूछना है
Thank you.
जानू आपसे कि आपको लगता
Yes,
है कि स्कूल में आप स्पेशल चिल्ड्रन के लिए स्पोर्ट्स होना चाहिए?
यस
हाँ,
मैम,
जैसे कि देखा
इससे
गया है.
हम जैसे लोग हैं,
बोलो
क्या
बोलो.
मैम, स्पोर्ट होना चाहिए क्योंकि इससे हम लोग जैसे लोग हैं उनके अंदर भी कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा। वो
Yes,
अपने
right.
आप को दुनिया से मिल पाएंगे, दुनिया से जानकारी ले पाएंगे और उनके अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा कि हम भी खेल सकते हैं, हम भी इंडिया के लिए कुछ कर सकते हैं, मेडल लेके आ सकते हैं और
Okay.
हम एवं लोगों की तरह हैं, बिल्कुल एवं लोगों से बिल्कुल अलग नहीं है। ये बहुत अच्छी बात है मैम,
Okay. That's
स्पोर्ट
great.
हमारे लिए।
Yeah. Thank you जानू
Yes, ma'am.
आपका जर्नी शेयर करने के लिए. So
Thank you मैम।
yes, no problem. So in I would like to share this, like for Janu's Rawat case. In his case, we started with this project to improve the physical literacy at grassroots level. We normally see in our country, and not in our country, even in the worldwide, the physical literacy for special children at grassroots level, it's lacking a lot. So that's how this is one of the project we are helping out. And there are a number of students, I would say presently in this project we have more than 2000 children who are in different development program for different sports. Now I would move to Reddy Manikant. Hello Reddy Manikant, can you hear me?
Namaste, ma'am.
Yes, namaste.
Audible, ma'am.
Yes, you are audible. So he is a visually challenged athlete and he is working in the government sector in government schools for with special children. So Reddy Manikant, I audience how we can help the children to get into sports.
Yeah, ma'am. According to this one, this children's is in first of all, this children's parents is not supporting. Why our son is have leg problem, my daughter is have eye problem, he can't speak, he's deaf, like that's thinking in parents.
Yes.
First of all, we are motivate the parents.
Yeah. So motivating and counseling is one of the thing we should do.
Yeah,
And, yes.
definitely, ma'am. We want to counseling the
And
parents
after
first
that,
of all.
yes.
Parents
After
nowadays so many persons, so many studying, but not have fitness, no sports, but is have a no immunity also not have. Small weather changes is have is fall in the some diseases.
Right.
Like
Got
that,
it.
no fitness, no health.
Yes, Reddy Manikant, thank you for sharing your experiences about the different problems and about the solution which you have told, like counseling is the one, about improving the fitness among the student, about giving the equal rights. Now from all the stories we can observe, like in different sector the scenarios are different and the strategies to improve them will be little different. So thank you everyone, every panelist over here
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.
sharing your stories, experience and enlightening with different issues. And